So our Golden Knights suffer only their second loss of the season. Our UNLV Running Rebels received their biggest donation to date. Plus, they had a couple games that they played. Both our Las Vegas Aces and Raiders make key offseason moves. And stay tuned to the end of this video. I have a very important announcement. So I'm going to use this wand because I'm a Hufflepuff. And this is episode 28 of Heat and Low. It's a made up spell. Well, as you may have known, our Golden Knights obviously came off a week hiatus due to COVID concerns, first involving head coach Pete DeBoer and other members of the coaching staff, and then Alex Pietrangelo was asymptomatic. He had to sit out a few games. He actually returned last night against their second game against the Anaheim Ducks, and that was actually their first loss since the hiatus. Before that, they were 3-0, looking good. So now 3-1, and but not too bad. I mean, watching the game yesterday, it was only a 1-0 defeat for our Vegas Golden Knights, and the Ducks scored in the third period with about 7.5 minutes left, but it was really back and forth. I feel like our Golden Knights couldn't really get anything going. Credit to the Ducks defense. They kind of, Golden Knights, they had their shots. Sorry, looking like alfalfa. But the Golden Knights, they had their opportunities, just couldn't really capitalize. Fleury, though, played well, had about 27 saves, and he's been actually playing well, and that was his first loss as a starter this year. He's actually off to the best start as a Golden Knight. He is now 5-1. Robin Lehner is 3-1-1, and actually Lehner was supposed to start yesterday, but he's dealing with an upper body injury because if you remember, Coach DeBoer said he was going to go back and forth between Lehner and Fleury, and then kind of see, which goalie was doing better, and then that would be the goalie they would proceed with. So far, obviously, Fleury has been playing better, and, he made some incredible saves yesterday. You look at it, sure, it's still a loss, but, he has just been throwing his body around. That's what I love about Fleury. He really sacrifices, his body. That's what it's about. They say, like in basketball, hey, dive on the floor, go get it. I see Fleury doing that, and it's just like, I feel like internally he's like, okay, my job is up for grabs. Let me prove everybody I can be the starter, kind of regain my starter, position. So we'll see. Obviously, with Leonard dealing with his injury, don't know how long he'll be out, so maybe Fleury's going to get some more reps. I've loved what I've seen from him. And actually, Fleury has allowed 10 goals this year, and Lehner has allowed 15. Obviously, Fleury now playing in one more game than Lehner. So again, statistically, they are, Fleury is doing better than Lehner. But that's not to say I would love to see, both continue to get a shot, and because I love both goalies and I think they're both great. But again, Fleury, with him getting up there in age, I think he's really trying to, battle and prove, like, I'm still a starter capable. Now, they did lose, like I said, to the Ducks yesterday. Before that, they had a series against the Kings, which they won both games, and they outscored the Kings 9-5 in that series. And the Ducks, they won their first game again with Fleury. It was 5-4 the final, but going into the third period, it was 4-1. Golden Knights kind of looked like they locked up control, and then all of a sudden the Ducks scored 3 unanswered goals, tied it at 4, and then it was a late goal by Zach Whitecloud that put them back on top to ultimately win the game. So, kind of scary there. And then, like I said, the loss yesterday was just going back and forth, highly competitive, and it was just, one goal was the difference, and that's what happened. So I wanted to break it down in terms of jersey records, because the Golden Knights have wore 4 jerseys this year. They've wore the black jerseys, the white jerseys, which are the 2 jerseys they've always had. Since their inaugural year, they've always had the black and the white. The gold jerseys is something they debuted this year, and I love them. And they also have the red jerseys, which are also fantastic. Speaking of gold, they did debut gold helmets yesterday, which I was just like, man. And my mom's like, yeah, we have style. And I'm like, yes, like, the Golden Knights, man, they have some of the freshest uniforms in the game, in my opinion. So, in the black jerseys, they are 3-1-1. In the gold jerseys, they are 3-0. Those are all the games that Fleury has played. In the white jerseys, they are 1-1, and in the red jerseys, they are 1-0. And they are actually, here's a cool statistic, they are actually 4-0 when debuting in a new uniform in a game. So every time the Golden Knights have wore a new uniform, they've won. Now you say, but what about the gold helmets that you said they wore yesterday? That's not a uniform; it's a helmet. So I'm not going to count that. We could say they're 0-1 in the helmet game, you know. So maybe they just need to keep, you know, cranking out new jerseys, and we can start winning. So I want to look ahead at what they have next. Tomorrow we're traveling down to our rival San Jose Sharks for a 1 p.m. Puck drop, and then it's a back-to-back Sunday. We are starting our series with the Colorado Avalanche. That game is at 4 p.m. And then Tuesday, again against the Colorado Avalanche at 7 p.m. That Sharks game is, being made up from when the Golden Knights had their hiatus. Then they will travel to Colorado for 2 more against the Avalanche. So they're going to have 2 at T-Mobile Arena and then travel to Colorado to play them 2 more before ending February with San Jose and Anaheim once again. Which, again, they're 3-1 thus far this year against Anaheim. Fleury in his career. I was trying to say Fleury and career, not Curry. Even though Steph Curry is playing very, very well. But Fleury is 17-5 overall against the Ducks. So we'll see kind of... I'm sure he'll play 1 game, and if Leonard's healthy, he'll play the other game. And then looking at March schedule, they will actually be playing, this is crazy, the Minnesota Wild. And as you might know, obviously I'm traveling to Minnesota. I'm moving there, and March 8th is my first day of work. And the Wild are going to be playing the Golden Knights. I mean, could you say it's fate? Maybe. But they will play the Wild, they will play the Sharks, the Sharks, then they play the Wild again, then the St. Louis Blues, then the Sharks again, then the Kings, then the Blues again, then the Avalanche, and then end again with the Kings. Again, with this year, they're having their whole, just playing in their Western Division. They're not playing their normal, they're not playing in their normal division, the Pacific, which you add, some of the Canadian teams, with the Winnipeg Jets and the Calgary Flame. And they're just not playing the whole league. Again, 56-game season, so it's a lot of repetition. I said this, obviously, when we first started. Yeah, they're playing, like, each team 8 times. Yeah, they're seeing a lot of these teams. You're going to get very familiar. But that is how the rest of the season is going to go for our Golden Knights. So, 8-2-1 right now. Love what we're seeing. Hopefully we can keep it up. And again, this team is talented enough to go all the way. They have been for the last few years, so I hope this year they can put it together. Go Knights, go! So this is such a great story. Our UNLV Running Rebels received an $8 million donation from the estate of James Baumberger, which is the largest in UNLV's history. Now, Baumberger died in 2016, but was a huge UNLV supporter, avid, and it has been stated that this money, although, donated to the Running Rebels, will be spread equally across both men and women's programs within UNLV. It's just so cool. And Baumberger's name was added to the court before their series against Air Force, but of course the court is still going to be named Tarkanian Court. It would take a lot to kind of overtake that, but such a cool thing. Obviously, huge in terms of the university status and being able to provide more and just bring more people in higher ranks. So I think this is an awesome thing, and to know it'll be spread equally between men and women. Again, gotta be diverse, and this is just credit to UNLV for this, and credit to the estate of James Baumberger. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's talk about their games. Air Force, they did sweep their 2-game series. Bryce Hamilton did return from an ankle sprain that he was dealing with, or ankle contusion. Game 1, he had 22 points and 13 rebounds, and then he added 14 more in Game 2. Now, David Jenkins had a case of the opposites. Game 1, he only had 2 points, but he exploded in Game 2 with 26 points. Mbake Jung and Nicole Blake were the 2 other players in Game 1 in double figures, and Hamilton and Jenkins Jr. were the only ones in double figures in Game 2. Again, they won them both, so not too much to fret. The Air Force is, one of the worst teams in the Mountain West, so you look at it, they should have won. They shot 55% field goals in both games, but they struggled in Game 1 from the 3. They were 14%, actually, 2 of 14. Game 2, actually much better, 56%. 9 of 16, and just think about 9 to 16. That's what Steph Curry was yesterday. He had 10 threes, but at one point he was 9 of 16. That dude is just amazing. So again, a good series against Air Force, a series that they should have won. Now, they did play Boise State last night, who is second in the Mountain West, sitting at 14-4 overall, 11-3 in the Mountain West, and it was a tough one. UNLV lost by 12, but in the first half, UNLV tried to hang with them. It was competitive, and then they were down by 12 at half, and then obviously lost by 12. But they did stick around for a little bit, and so here's how UNLV's records shape out. At home, they are 7-2. So at the Thomas and Mack Center, only got 2 losses in 9 games. Pretty great. On the road, though, they've only won 1 out of 6 games. They are 1-5. And when it's a neutral site, they are 0-3. So again, they're best at home, and with no fans, I feel like, yeah, you'd say, is there really an advantage? Yes, because you're familiar with the court, and that's the other thing. With other states' laws, who's to say other states don't have fans? Just because we don't, other states might, and according to their kind of policies and stuff by their governor. So that can take an effect. But again, really the road record needs to improve. And so hopefully that's something that they can do. So as we look ahead, they're taking on Boise again tomorrow. Again, another road game. Then they will be on the road Friday, February 19th, and Sunday, February 21st at San Jose. So they got 3 road games coming up. Hopefully they can use that to kind of improve their road record. And then Wednesday, February 24th, and Friday, the 26th, they will be playing at home against Fresno State. And then after that, March 10th through the 13th is the Mountain West Championship. So right now, UNLV is currently in 6th place in the Mountain West. Now, I mean, that won't matter because everybody's going to get a chance to play in the Mountain West tournament. That's how it goes, and that's how we get the stories of the Cinderellas and everything. And again, there will be a tournament this year, so we will have to wait and see. Hopefully, UNLV can find a way. They've been playing, pretty good. Got to get some more consistency out of Mbake, maybe Caleb Grill, because Hamilton and Jenkins have been doing it. They've been doing it all year long, and so we need kind of that more support. So hopefully we can get that just in time for the Mountain West Championship, but that is what the rest of the month and early next month look like. And then, of course, we're going to, dip into March Madness. It's all going to happen so fast. So UNLV, hopefully with these road games coming up, they can improve their road record. They're sitting at 8-10 overall, 5-6 in the Mountain West. So hopefully we can notch a couple wins together, because I think this team is talented. Although mostly, on the younger side, got some room to grow. But I think I have faith that moves. Yes, our Raiders, Aces, making moves. Let's start with the Raiders. They are planning to release wide receiver Tyrell Williams. You're like, who? You thought I was gonna say Henry Ruggs III or Darren Waller or Nelson Agnew. Tyrell Williams. Now, the reason you might have not have heard of this guy is he missed last season with a torn labrum in his shoulder. So obviously, hopefully he can get healthy for his sake. It's just devastating. But the Raiders with this move will save $11.6 million. And 2019, he had 42 catches for 651 yards and 6 touchdowns for the Raiders. So he did play for the Raiders a couple years ago. But ever since then, he's kind of been affected by plantar fasciitis. Again, just very devastating stuff. I never like to hear that with athletes, kind of these long-term injuries, and just stuff that continues to bother them. I hate to see that, but I understand. Obviously, it's a business. The Raiders need to do this to kind of save money and make other moves. Now, he did sign a 4-year, $44 million contract, with the team in 2019, including 22 million of that guaranteed. Now, all that money has been paid out. So again, hate for this to happen for his sake, but again, it's a business. I understand where the Raiders are coming from. With our Las Vegas Aces, they haven't released anybody, but they have signed all-star guard Raquina Williams from, guess who? The LA Sparks. That is who the Aces, they just must have this internal deal where there's like, Sparks, just give us anybody. Except, we didn't get Candace Parker. But again, we already got, Gray from there. And so, again, Raquina Williams, Bill Lambier raved about her being a proven scorer and adding a great deal of depth to a roster with WNBA championship aspirations, bringing in another guard. So, now we have like 4 great guards. That's good. So we'll see. She was named the 6th Woman of the Year in 2013 and then made her first All-Star appearance 2 years later in 2015. And she also ranks 5th in the WNBA in 3-point shooting percentage at 39%, which is huge because you think about the Aces losing Kayla McBride. She was kind of our primary 3-point threat, and when we lost her, we didn't really have that anymore. So I think bringing in Williams, they kind of did that on purpose to kind of make up for losing McBride. So I'm excited to see the value she's going to bring with the Aces. Again, I've been seeing videos on Liz Camp Age and what she's doing. She's looking dangerous. It's gonna be tough with like the Chicago Sky and seeing they have Candace Parker and some others, but I think it's gonna be a very fun WNBA year. Very competitive, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Aces will do. Again, they're not gonna start until like April, so we'll get to it soon enough. But it very, very exciting, and yeah, to see what happens. Okay, here's the moment you all have been waiting for. I'm quitting. No, no. I'm not quitting. But I actually am going on a hiatus myself from Heat and Low, just because these next few weeks and kind of next month I gotta figure out my life. I'm making a huge move. Obviously, I announced last week that I am moving down to Minnesota for a job opportunity, covering sports and being on a morning show. I'm very stoked about it. But I think I need to kind of focus, and there's just a lot with the moving process and getting acclimated to a new area and a new job. So unfortunately, for the time being, I will be taking a hiatus. I plan to come back on Friday, April 2nd, so the day after April Fool's Day. I will be continuing with Heat and Low and kind of keep you updated from where we are. I won't be in this location anymore because this is in Vegas. I will be out of my new apartment, wherever that's at in Minnesota, and I say wherever that's at because I have a few options, so I got to go down there and kind of scope it out and see. But again, I just think it's important. I don't want to be, kind of pressured with doing this and then trying to get acquitted to everything. So I think it's best if I just take a break. And like I said, I will be back on April 2nd. But until then, I know a lot is gonna happen with UNLV and the Mountain West, conference, and and obviously our Golden Knights. There'll be so many games into their season. But again, that's why I kind of ran you through the schedule up until then. So thank you for understanding. Thank you for being a part of this journey thus far. I intend to keep it going and continue to try and improve it. But any feedback you're able to give me is will be what greatly appreciated. So I just want to thank you. Hopefully you have a great week. Hopefully 2021 takes care of you. It is actually treating you well. We're gonna get through this together. I will see you again. It's gonna be a while, about 6-7 weeks, but I will be back. So please take care, and love you guys so much.